Okay, this we already said a idea over on Parshas. It's a double Parsha. It's on Vayeilech. Now we're gonna say an interesting one on Vayeilech. And I want to add a nice story at the end. This is Rabbi Galinsky Torah over here. Pasuk says, Hakel esam anoshim anoshim v'ataf. Talks about Hakel gathering all of the men, the women, the children, the gercha, the gerim, converts. Asher b'sherech l'man yishmu l'man yilmadu v'yurus Hashem lokechem. Right, you gather everyone together. Hakel, they listen to the Torah. U'b'neim asher lo yodu yishmu v'lamdu v'yurus Hashem lokechem kol hayamin. And your children that don't know yet, let them listen and let them learn to fear Hashem kol hayamim, all of the days. Klal Yisrael were commanded, they were commanded to fulfill the mitzvah of Hakel once every 7 years. The entire nation, everyone would come to the Beis HaMikdash to hear the Torah HaKadosh, hear Sefer Devarim being read by the king, by the Melech. V'lamdu liyiras Hashem lokeichem kol hayamim. They learn to fear Hashem all of their days. Chazal is in the beginning of Maseches Chagiga, Dav Gimel. I understand on Noshim Ba'im Lilmod, the men are coming to learn. Noshim Ba'os L'Shmoa, the women are coming to listen, which we discussed in the past on the recording. Rabbi Blan.com. See for more details what that means, what the difference is, why they can't learn, why they can only listen. Taf Lama Ba'im. Why are the children coming? What's the purpose? They don't understand anything. The Gemara answers, in order to give reward for those who are bringing them. What exactly is this reward? The answer is, one answer is, it will be easier to educate your children in the future, to be machanech them, because this will teach them to fear Hashem kol hayamim, all of their days. That's what the Or HaChaim explains on this pasuk. Lamed Aleph Yud Gimel Ayin Sham in the Or HaChaim. It's like 10-15 words he only says it in. So look at the Or HaChaim inside over there.
How the children are going to learn? They're going to learn.
What?
How the children are going to learn it? They're going
to. No, they're not learning. The idea is, but the idea is that they are they're not learning, but the idea is that what? Is that they are they're not learning, but the idea is that they're gaining. Right, because it says the parents get rewarded by bringing them. Right, that's why you bring them, because the parents get rewarded. The question is, what does that mean? What exactly is their reward? Right. So on that, we're coming along and saying that the reward is to I don't know how to bring that down. We're saying that the reward is for them. For the parents are going to get rewarded, because now it'll be easier to educate their children in the future. That's going to be the reward. That's what the Or HaChaim is saying. So now the question is, how does that work exactly? That it will be easier to educate them just because you bring them to Hakel. What's Pshat in the Or HaChaim? Rabbi Galinsky explains, whenever anyone, even a young child, sees such a loud and mighty crowd, he knows that he's part of it, and we have no idea the tremendous level of chinuch that can impart within them. The pasuk says, "Kol hayamim," they're going to feel Hashem their whole life. There's the fear of Hashem that's going to be implanted and injected within them. It says an interesting ma'ase over here that when the Simcha of Bunam passed away, so his congregation was divided. The majority of them, the followers of the majority of them, they became followers of the Rebbe of Kotsk, who was fire, pillar of Yira. The rest, they chose to stick with Rabbi Yitzchak of Vodka, the Kotsker. Who was the Rebbe's, the Kotsker Rebbe's friend, Rabbi Yitzchak of Vorka, who was the polar opposite. He was a lot of very peaceful, calm, patient. So one day, the Rebbe of Vorka, he was walking down the street, and a wagon piled with these Hasidim on the way to Kotsk, they pulled up, and one ordered the wagon driver to stop, and he had the nerve to turn to the Rebbe and said, why are you playing like a fool? Acting like a Rebbe, take off your frock and come with us to Kotsk. Very chutzpah statement to say. So the others in the wagon, they were stunned by their friend's chutzpah, and they waited for the Rebbe's reaction. But the Vorka Rebbe, he maintained his calmness, and he smiled, and he said, the truth is, I've always wondered about something. He said, when a Rebbe has a lot of Hasidim, when he has thousands of Hasidim, the Rebbe is busy with his own spiritual achievements, with davening, with his own learning. with being elevated in terms of connecting to Hashem, how much time could he devote to each chassid? So why then are they making an effort to have more chassidim? Why are they trying to recruit more chassidim? Aren't they only hurting themselves because now the Rebbe is going to have a heavier burden and the Rebbe is going to have less time for them? Chassidim in the wagon, they never thought of it that way. They said, no, it's a good kasha. So Rabbi Yitzchak Kavorka, he says, I'm going to answer you. The Hasidim themselves, their truth is that they're really not confident of their Rebbe's superiority. Perhaps it's true that he's a lofty person, he's a holy man, and the Spirit of Hashem speaks through him, and and the words is constantly on his lips. But they need reinforcements, they need other people to approve of it. So now it comes out that if more Hasidim would join them, if the Rebbe would be a stamp of approval, then they know that they chose well. But he says, listen to me, I've known your Rebbe for years. I could testify he's very holy and pure, lofty, and very chashuv. You could travel to him without any problem at all. You don't need to get other people's agreement, there are other Hasidim to join. So the chassid who was chutzpah, his face turned pale, right? So Rabbi Glinstein explains it's a nice story. The answer is a nice answer, but it seems that there's another answer that could be provided that's a little easier to understand. Why do Hasidim want to expand their Hasidus? They're going to get less attention. True. But on the other hand, you're going to have more strength from a group. That's what Hakel is about. You have a big group, a big chabura. That's what this is about in the morning. Any child who experiences it, feared Hashem kol hayamim, his whole life. All the days means even when he returned to his city, his town, if he was alone, he knew that he was part of an enormous community, enormous group. And that itself gave him strength. In Navardik, they used to say, this is what Chazal mean when they say in their statement that a person should always leave his friend with the word of halacha, gemara, and brachas, and other places as well. And in keeping with the statement, the Vilna Gaon, he would have the custom, he would say, Yachad Rab Malachik Rabim. If you have an individual and majority, the opinion is always like the majority. Why? What's a deeper idea? The source of that could be in Agra Tefirka and Chavals as well as the Yerushalmi. An idea here is that you see the importance of a group. A group, it's easier to be strong when you're part of a group, even if you have to part from your friend. If you have to part from your friend, if you have to leave your group, even when you're alone, you're going to be reminded that you're part of a group, and then you're going to remain strong. There's a story that Rabbi Fram brings of a. Okay, never mind the story. But the idea is that yes, the college professor with the test. Yeah, what happened with the test? And
do you know who I am?
Yeah, he said he's going to get in trouble with this test. Do you know who I am? Do you know my name? Yeah, I'm going to get it. And he said, no, took his test, mix it in the paper with all the other tests. And he said, no problem. Now you can't deduct for me. Now you can't get me in trouble. And he ran away. When you have a group of tests, when you're in a group, you're good. All right, fair enough. Have a great job.
All right.